Good evening. Thank you for joining us at tonight's meeting of Brooklyn's Community Board 9. It is 7:03 and we are going to get started on time so that we can end on time. My name is Primo Lasana and I am the first vice chair for Community Board 9 here in Brooklyn. I am joined by my colleagues and I will pass the mic. I also have Mia Hilton here from the office to keep us accountable. Just so that you know, our chair, Fred Baptiste, is at a public hearing for the potential transition plan for SUNY Downstate Hospital. And that's something that's important for us to just be present at and collect information on, so I'm stepping in his stead while he attends that town hall. With that, I will pass the mic to my left.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Francisco Leopold, second vice chair for Community Board 9. Thank you for being here.
Good evening, everyone. Mia Hilton, Assistant District Manager, Community Board 9.
Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Dexter Roberts, and I am Community Member at Large.
Thank you. So we're going to get started. I'm just going to run you through the agenda quickly because I think that's a good practice so that we know that what we're all going to do for this meeting. So first up is a call to order, just announcing the rules of order for the meeting. I think we're all adults here and we can all operate in a respectful way. I would ask that we follow simple rules of decency to each other and try to act with empathy because that's what we want in return. So that's all I'm going to say on that. There are time limits to speakers, so just know that for equity's sake, we put a 3-minute time limit on speakers. So again, don't feel like we're trying to rush you off the stage. We just want to make sure that we're creating enough space for everyone to speak. Our second piece is going to be an application for Landmarks and Preservation Commission. We have heard from this applicant before at 418 Rogers Avenue. After that, we are going to move into the applications for the State Liquor Authority, of which we have a number, some of which are returning from a previous month. They have been invited at their option to come back because we went through those applications. We simply did not have enough time to vote. There is two applications on the agenda for the New York State Office of Cannabis Management, or OCM. So we have also invited those applicants to come and speak tonight. Then we are going to have a business session with a roll call and approval of the January minutes, committee reports, district managers reports, chairman's report, some voting items, which include that LPC application at 418 Rogers Avenue, our SLA applications, our OCM applicants, a Black History Month event, which has been put on the table by our Youth Services Committee. And then I believe removal of board members is going to be delayed, if I'm not incorrect. And then we will adjourn. So again, removal of board members is going to be tabled for the future. And at this point, what we'd like to do is move directly into public commentary. And so, again, yes. So we are going to have a time limit for each speaker of 3 minutes. You will receive a 30-second heads up when your time is running short. We'll just give you a 3-0 signal so that you know. We will ask for all public speakers that you come to the front. We're not going to come out and carry the mic to you. I just also want to say from a housekeeping perspective, what we have right here is a tablet that is live casting to folks online. So just be conscious. I think if you stand right here, kind of at this mark where the water bottle is, with your back to the table, everybody will be able to view you online. And we're asking that you use a mic because that also connects with the audio for folks in the online audience. Great. We're moving smoothly tonight, and so we have a list of public speakers here tonight. I'm just gonna name our folks. So we're first gonna hear from Barry Kay, then we have Shalome Rosenberg, then we have Israel Farkash, then we have Jonathan Maribel, and then Jefferson Maloney. My apologies if I did not pronounce anyone's name correctly, and you will have the opportunity to come up and introduce yourself. So with that, I would like to call to the front Mr. Barry Kay. Is Mr. Barry Kay present? Okay. See him coming up to the front of the room. So, sir, we just ask that you come, take the mic. You're first on the speakers list, so this is your moment. Please feel free to take off your jacket if you'd like to. We can give you that allowance for sure. Wonderful. Mr. K, I think you may have missed this, but there are 3 minutes for each speaker. We ask that you come here, face the front. You'll be on camera and using a microphone. Put those on the table after you speak. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, you can get the whole time. Look at it. You have your microphone, good to go. Yep, face the audience.
Again, first, thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the Community Board, for making the time to meet and address this urgent issue of our community. I'm asking and need your help to resolve a underage drinking safety problem that is growing like cancer among our neighborhood and especially among our young children, teens in my local community. We ask that you deny the permit of any alcohol to be sold or served at the first floor Joseph Burger store and the second floor that was illegally constructed and illegally converted from a residential unit, commercial, youngster, and party hall room.
Sorry about that.
I stand before you today as a longtime peaceful community resident at the owner of 331 Kingston Avenue for the past 30 years. Our family occupy and live at 331 Kingston Avenue building with our children, which the youngest is 10 years old. And we have shared a common wall with the neighbor owner, Mr. Winter, of 333 Kingston Avenue, peacefully for years. Both buildings are zoned as a store on the first floor and a residential unit on the second floor, as many other houses and building units on the same avenue. Last month, Joseph Burger, a new tenant at the 333 neighbor, Kingston Avenue, neighboring us, opened a store and built an illegal stairway from the store to the second floor residential unit and illegally converted it without any permits or zoning authority from a residential unit to a commercial, loud, noisy, young age party hall. For nearly 3 decades, my family and I have lived peacefully in our home, but regrettably, our peace and tranquility have now been shattered by the disturbance emanating from this establishment. Night after night, we are subject to the insane noise, the presence of rowdy youngsters with incidents of marijuana smoking by clients and some of the employees, and other substance abuse that persists in the back of the store until the very early hours of the morning, about 2 a.m. Despite our numerous complaints to 311 and frequent dispatch of police officers to do intervention, the owners of the establishment have displayed flagrant disregard to our well-being, showing no responsibility or concern for the impact their operations have to our lives. I must say that I just spoke today with a sergeant from the 71 precinct who called me about this and was trying to see what he could do about it. Yesterday, we spoke to the commander of the 71 precinct, Mr. Smith, whom also is trying to come up with solutions, because this is becoming slowly, even without alcohol, a very, very big problem, a problem zone, specifically for young teens who are going to be impacted or are already the issue over here. And now, I'm sorry, and now we are faced with even greater threat, the potential granting of an alcohol permit by your board to this establishment. This prospect fills us with deep apprehension, and we fear it will only exacerbate or intensify the existing problem we are forced to endure. On a nightly basis, not only will this likely lead to further escalation of the noise level, but also poses a very real danger of promoting underage drinking with our community, a prospect that should concern all of us deeply. Granting such a permit would not only be a disservice to the residents. Okay. Last statement. I implore you to reject the application for permit to serve any alcohol for this establishment and follow up and take decisive actions to address this ongoing disturbances. It would be as if you would be granting an alcohol license to a McDonald's serving the kids menu. Thank you very much for your help. Hopefully, you'll help us to resolve this. Thank you for the additional moments.
Thank you, Mr. K, for sharing that with us, and we have a letter of the full comments that we can share with the board via email and are also available at that table, and all of our executive members have them. Okay, thank you, Mr. K. Up next, Shalomette Rosenberg.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. My name is Shalomette Rosenberg, and I live right next door to Joseph Dreamberger. And as that man before said, he's my husband. They opened up on January 10th, and they are looking to get a liquor license. It's a burger store, and I've been living here for 25 years, right next door. We share a wall, as my husband said. I have 6 kids, and I'm really, really concerned for this. I do not want them to be able to have liquor. I don't feel like they could be trusted because we've tried to work with them since January 10th, and they have not, we have told them we're having problems with the music, that we're not able to sleep at night. They're open till 1 a.m. every night, Thursday till 2 a.m., and Saturday night was till 3 a.m., but I just saw on Google they changed it to 2 a.m. But I hear it, my master bedroom and my child's bedroom is the same, on the same wall as their second floor. As my husband said, they illegally opened the second floor. We've been living here for 25 years. My husband owns it for 30 years. And it's supposed to be only residential. And I'm very, very concerned. Just a couple of weeks ago, we have an alley right behind our house with steps that go to our roof. Just a couple of weeks ago, when Joseph Burger was open, there was someone that was on drugs, and a neighbor of ours saw them go on top of our roof, and we had to call the police. And I'm just very concerned that they cannot be relied upon to get, I feel like they can't be relied upon, that they're gonna be responsible about who they give the liquor to. So I'm really, really very concerned about that. And they also have not been, also, this is very holy neighborhood for our children. It's a religious where we live. It's right next to 770 Eastern Parkway. It's a religious, big, place, synagogue where people pray for. And it's a very religious neighborhood. And I feel like this is just gonna intensify hanging out for young kids that shouldn't be there. And I'm very much concerned. And we haven't been able to sleep well, and with them being able to serve liquor, it's just going to be another reason for people to hang out and us not sleeping well. We called the police many times, like my husband said, that we weren't able to sleep in the evening. And it doesn't matter. We came Saturday night from our anniversary, 12 a.m. The music from their store was outside on, even though they've been warned many times of police. I went inside the store, I went to the upstairs second floor, and it was on, and it was loud, and I heard them. So being that they weren't responsible for the music, I feel that they're not gonna be responsible with liquor. And I have 6 children. My child who's lived in the room that shares the wall with Joseph Burger has not slept in her room since Joseph Dream Burger has opened. I ask you all if you can care for all the children of our neighborhood, the religious and Jewish children, and not grant them a liquor license.
Thank you, Ms. Rosenberg. Mrs. Rosenberg. Up next on our list is Israel Farkash. Hello, Mr. Farkash. Welcome. 3 minutes like everybody else.
I came on behalf of Crown Travel, that is the office next to 33, is located in 331 Kingston Avenue, is next to 333 Kingston Avenue, the burger. I can be a witness for at least 2 occasions that alcohol being served in that burger when is no license and no check the age, and not only not and 2 occasions that no check the age, no check alcohol being served there on the second floor. And when I approach one of the partners on that burger, and I ask him how he give to people to do it, he says, I don't give it to him, and also it's on the second floor, nobody can see it. That's why, what's the problem? I'm quiet, but I can tell the law is after 10 o'clock, you're not allowed to put music loud, especially when you're next to residential. And give example, last Saturday night, the music and noise is till almost 2 a.m. You can check the record by the police, how many times police have to come to show up to put the music lower. And I want to ask a simple question. If that people ignore the law, simple law, not something that required to be with license, how we can trust them to give them a license to increase the risk of alcohol that we already suffer in this community? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Farkash. Up next, we have Jonathan Marable, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Please come up and join us. Like everyone else, you have 3 minutes to speak. Here you go, sir. And yeah, you face the audience. You're perfect right there. All right.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So I'm Jonathan Marable. I'm here as a representative for the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, a nonprofit whose mission is to serve and provide services to small businesses. We do this through promotion of small businesses, support services, advocacy, and creating convening opportunities. And I'm here to tell you about a program that actually started during the pandemic back in 2020 to provide one-on-one assistance to small businesses, something called the New York City Small Business Resource Network. So basically, we get matched up with business owners one-on-one. We actually come to you, where you can have meetings with us via Zoom or phone calls, up to you. But essentially, we help small businesses obtain, let's say, financing, or if they need help with marketing, we can assist with that or connect them to resources that can provide that. We also have a program called Open and Online, through which we've made over 800 websites for small businesses for free. And there's a question in the back that I'll answer. In addition, legal resources, if there's someone who needs sort of advice let's say if they're trying to start a business or if they're having some sort of conflict that they want to resolve. We also offer free legal consultation, so that's another service that we provide. And also, as you know, many small businesses started during the pandemic, so we also assist with providing business strategy and support. So if you're at all interested in any of those and more, feel free to grab one of these. I'm going to leave these palm cards on the table over there. Feel free to sign up. There's a QR code on the back that takes you right to our website, and you can also find me. I'll just be here for the rest of the meeting. So that's about it. Thank you.
You can put them on that table over there, and folks can come up and grab them if they'd like to access that resource. Or these are public speakers. Okay, these are the same. They're just on ours. Okay. Okay. Up next we have Jefferson Maloney. Welcome, Mr. Maloney. You've been here since the start. You know the deal.
Hello, hi. Hello, I'm Jefferson Maloney. I live at Rutland Road at Bedford Avenue. I've been here about 6 years, and I'm proud to be a member of the community. Appreciate the chance to speak. Nice to meet you. We've exchanged a couple emails. I'm here because there's something that's going on in the neighborhood. Some of you may have heard it walking around. I hear it from my home and have for almost 2 years now. So there's a building that went up at 1930 Bedford Ave. It's taller than the rest, and they've got a huge HVAC unit up on the roof, and it makes a constant, dissonant, unwavering, humming vibration noise. And I can hear it while sitting in my home, in various rooms, and I can hear it when walking down the street. So since I've started to take action on this, I've reached out to the neighborhood and people have responded. This is affecting a lot of people in the neighborhood in a 3 to 4 block radius, and who knows where else, but it's affecting people, and the only recourse we have is to file a noise complaint with the DEP. That results in 2 technicians coming out to take sound readings. They are responsive, they do that. Part of their process is that they need to go to the offending building and ask them to turn off the machinery. They have not been able to do so because of 2 things. They're kind of disorganized and nobody's following through to make sure they're actually doing that. When they can't get access, they can't complete the test and there's no result. They can't get access because the building is unresponsive. They don't have contact information listed online. It's kind of like a nameless, faceless monolith of a building that seems impenetrable to making change. So there's an NYC noise code that's in place. There are rules. There is a decibel level. This does not match the decibel level from my house, which is 2 blocks away. I intend to get a reading from neighbors that live across the street, who I have yet to make contact with, but I'm on a mission. It's going to be loud from across the street. It will match the threshold. From there, I'm not sure what the DEP can do. The problem is I don't know what kind of teeth the DEP has to actually affect change besides issuing a citation. So that's the situation in the neighborhood right now that I'm dealing with as far as noise goes. What I'm here for specifically is to just put this on record. 30 seconds, thank you. I want to share the noise with you. Constant, 24/7. Maybe some of you have heard it. I'd like it to stop. 1930 Bedford. So this is, you can put a noise machine on in your kid's room, but this is going to keep it constant. Yeah, they can make some change. They have an open doorway up there. There are rules as far as how tall of a parapet and a sound enclosure should be there. It's not there. I don't know how to get it enforced. It needs to be enforced. Moving forward, I would like to, I'm going to wrap this up. I want to add or alter the NYC noise code, which I know is going to take a long time. But for noises at a certain decibel level that are 24/7, there should be amendments to limit them somehow. So if anybody knows how to get this going or wants to help me or expedite the process, I'm here. Thanks a lot for listening.
Okay, we have one addition to the list, which is Ms. LaShawn Ellis. Ms. Ellis, the floor is yours for 3 minutes.
So I'm reading a message on behalf of Alicia Boyd.
That's the screen, so.
Oh, do I need to be in it? Okay. Okay, all right. This is, again, on behalf of Alicia Boyd. Good evening, Community Board 9. This past month, I attended the Safety Committee meeting where a business, in the community was coming to this board to get approval for a cannabis license, one of the first ones in CB9. Despite having complaints filed against the business, members of the Safety Committee were loitering in front of the business exterior was not in compliance with the state laws, and the business agreeing to take some of its profits and give back to the community by supporting nonprofits in the area. The Safety Committee voted for this business to be approved with no conditions imposed, nor was the business willingness to give back to the community within their business plan supported by the Safety Committee. It is clear that most of the members of this committee, all of whom are new to the board, don't know or understand the state laws around cannabis, nor their roles in ensuring that businesses are good neighbors. It seems like I walked in on some other business being a bad neighbor. Some members felt that as long as they were applying for a legal license, then that was all that was required of them to be approved. Whereas another person who does not live in the Black community where this business is located felt that loitering of people in front of the business will not happen because it would not be in the best interest of the business, despite evidence of the contrary. Finally, when I had posed to the business the idea of giving back to the community by supporting nonprofits in the community, the business owners agreed enthusiastically with me and were willing to do so. However, the same person I cited above, who does not live in the Black community, decided that the business now coming into our community to make money off of us only need to pay their state taxes, and we can't ask the business to give back to the community. May I remind everyone that for the past century, Black people, especially Black men, have been persecuted, imprisoned, and their lives have been destroyed because they engaged in smoking of marijuana. But now that it is legal, people who would have persecuted us now want to come into our community and make $1 and take their profits out of the community without giving anything back. Let's be clear, I'm not saying that this particular business is not from the community, but already we've experienced Black people being pushed in front of us, while behind the scenes, there are people who don't come from our community, nor have they given anything back to our community. Because this business owner had enthusiastically agreed to give back to the community via his business plan, I urge this community to send a clear message to the Safety Committee and demand that giving back to us and not just taking from us is one of the standards that we will be looking at in regard to their overall business plan. If a business has agreed to give back, then we should support their efforts and ensure that it is written in their overall business plan. Additionally, conditions of compliance with the law, which have been broken in the past, must be set as conditional on the agreement of the application. Great, almost done. This includes adherence to the state-mandated laws of how a business must appear in the community, and business must ensure that loitering of customers is not done. Thank you.
Okay. At this point, we have completed our list of folks who signed up for public speaking. We have one more person. Would you like to take them? Can you come up and sign this list quickly, please? Yep. Up next, we're going to hear from public representatives and their representatives. Yep, here you go. And jot your name down. Okay, so if, you can stand up here, just like Ms. Ellis just did. And if you could you have 3 minutes to speak.
Okay, hello everyone. Happy Black History Month, but it's all year round for everybody? Yes. I just wanted to create an event and promote unity within this historically Black and historically Jewish neighborhood. I wanted to put on an event about Black, Jewish, Caribbean history as an education opportunity for everyone and anyone who is interested. And if anybody is interested in speaking with me or learning more about the event, I would have more information in the future, but I just came here to get the event started and figure out where to have the event and when to have the event. And it won't be in the month of February because, like I said, all year long. And that's all, and it was very good to meet you, and I hope you all have a nice night and be safe. And my name is Deanna Cohen, and I live in the community. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Cohen. And then up next, we have Kat D, who is a representative from one of our local businesses. And then we're going to close, and then we're going to move to public representatives.
Hi everyone. As you mentioned, my name is Kat B. I have the Bodega Lounge on No Street in between Rutland and Fenimore. It used to be Daleview Biscuit and Beers. So since it was a business prior, one thing that I would like to pitch, and I understand the noise complaints that you were making with the 24/7. We are a business that is operating until 10, 11 p.m. And someone who has signed our petition, I remember pitching it to you guys, and thank you for approving us. I'm having a little issue with someone at like 8:30 because they now have a new job that they've called the police on us numerous times, so there's been noise complaints. And anytime the police have shown up, we've been complying by the noise rules, so there's been no citations to write up. However, that is still affecting our business. So when it comes to noise complaints from residential and commercial mixed businesses, what can the actual landlords do? It shouldn't be a business owner to eat that cost to insulate their building, insulate the ceilings. It should be a landlord's cost if they're always going to have a mixed use residential and commercial business. So looking for community support and how we can push that with landlords, especially when it's a mixed use building, especially due to the fact that SLA will look at the fact of any noise complaints coming in, and if we're doing everything to code, but still getting hit with noise complaints due to the fact that you have a new job and you're moving into a building that also has a business in it. That shouldn't be our fault. We shouldn't be penalized for that. So that's what I'm looking for, community support, to see what we can do to sort of like push that. And with that, I do also want to present the fact that there's a lot of residents in this neighborhood specifically that are dealing with slumlords, and I'm gonna call it what it is, it's slumlords. We live in rent-stabilized buildings, and we're not getting assistance when it comes to repairs needed. We're living in inhabitable conditions due to the fact that they're targeting us because we're either Caribbean descent, we don't have the knowledge, we don't know our rights. Thankfully, I do, so I'm fighting against my current landlord due to the conditions that they're succumbing us to, but also looking for community assistance on how we can fight back against a lot of these landlords that are not doing their part. And I know that they can get government assistance to any repairs needed. And it's really unfair and it's really unfortunate to see the blatant disrespect that they're doing to us as tenants, knowing and don't know our rights. So I just wanted to present that to the board today.
What's the address?
The Bodega Lounge in between Fenimore and Rutland, 1170 Nostrand Avenue. And I live right up on Nostrand Avenue as well, on a rent-stabilized building with terrible conditions.
Okay, thank you to one, everybody for participating in public commentary, and two, everyone for listening respectfully. Next, we're going to move on to our elected representatives, and so Mia is grabbing that list for me. I also saw some folks walk in the last 2 minutes, so I recognize some folks. If you would like to be added to the list, please come speak with Khalid, and we'll get you signed in. And board members who came in recently, please go see Khalid and sign in so that we can get a good sense of what attendance looks like for tonight as we head towards needing a quorum for our business items tonight. So, up first, I'm going to call a representative from the office of the Honorable Yvette Clark. Mr. Eli Slavin.
Thank you.
Rabbi Eli Slavin. I'm going to get it right on the third try.
Two hats, one is Mr. One is Rabbi. Both hats fit, by the way. So good evening, everybody. My name is Eli Slavin. I'm community liaison for Congresswoman Yvette Clark. I'm not running for office. Not yet. We're located at 222 Lennox Road between Rogers and Nostrand. We handle all federal issues, IRS, Social Security, Veterans Affairs, Section 8, passports, visas. I just want to let you know, if you are planning to travel shortly, make sure that you have your passports. They're 6 months effective at least. And if not, pay the extra fees for expediting and next day delivery, and do that on time so you don't end up calling me and trying to get you emergency passports. Having said that, happy Black History Month. Something very important. Our office now is beginning to have satellite meetings within the district. And I will inform the community board where they take place, in the libraries, wherever it is, so that you can come. Makes it easier for the constituents to come in to our office, or to come in and have our services. Our number is 718-287-1142. We're open for business. So please, if you have any federal issues, you're more than welcome to come into our office. We are able and providing services. Thank you.
Excellent. Up next, we have Bianca Stevenson representing the office of the Honorable Antonio Reynoso. I can delay a moment while you find your glasses, absolutely. So I'll take a moment to also acknowledge from the board's elected officers, Black History Month in our community. We live in as many others have said, a historically Black, as well as a historically Jewish, historically important part of New York City. And we're really thrilled that our Youth Services Committee is going to be putting on the floor tonight a vote for a Black History Month event for our young folks in the community. Are we good? Fantastic. The floor is yours.
Hi, good night, everyone. My name is Bianca Stevenson, and I am the liaison for the Brooklyn Borough President, Antonio Reynoso. Just two short announcements today. As some of you may know, the Borough President had scheduled his State of the Borough address. It was supposed to be last month, but because of that was the day of the snow, it was postponed. So I'm just announcing the new date, which is March the 13th. And it's still at the New York City College of Technology, 275 J Street. So that's March 13th, beginning at 6 p.m. Program starts at 6:45, and everyone is invited. Okay, that's March 13th. Okay, and then the 2024 Borough Culture Grant Program. So organizations, of course, 501c3 cultural organizations based in Brooklyn can apply for a NYC Tourism Cultural Grant. These grants help with marketing and promotion of arts and cultural programs and events. So the deadline for application is March the 11th. So those are my official announcements. The other announcement is, please stop emailing and say, hey, I forgot to put in my application. The community board applications are now closed and will reopen in mid-November. So for board members, those whose term expires in 2024 and who did reapply, you will be actually, I sent out emails today for an interview for new board members and reapplicants whose attendance was under 50%. So that's it for me. Have a great meeting.
Thank you. Up next, we have Ms. Camille Barbin from the office of the Honorable Zelnor Myrie. I see her making her way to the front, prepared to blow us all away. Here you go, here's the mic.
Hello, everyone. I'm Camille. I'm the Constituent Services Manager for Senators Zonner Myrie. I'm filling in for Portia tonight. I just have a few announcements. As I'm sure you're all aware of the plan from the governor and the SUNY chancellor, what they're calling a transition for SUNY Downstate, which is actually to close SUNY Downstate Medical Center. So we're having a rally to save SUNY Downstate this Thursday at noon. It'll be at the Medical Center at 450 Clarkson Avenue. We have flyers over on the piano, so you can grab one on your way out. Please bring your neighbors, bring your family, your friends. We need as many people out there as possible to spread the word. We'll also be having a housing resource fair on Thursday, March 19th for tenants and homeowners. That'll be at Lennox Road Baptist Church from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So you can go ahead and mark your calendars for that. We have affordable housing services at our office every Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. That's in conjunction with CUF, their Housing Connect ambassador, and they can help you apply for all of the lotteries. They're really wonderful. Those are walk-in. Feel free to walk in or give our office a call if you just want to make sure there's space available. And then lastly, we have constituent services available Monday through Friday at our office. Those are by appointment or only, so please give us a call before. My card is also on the piano, so you can email us or call us with any issues. The noise complaints, or if you're having tenant issues, please go ahead and give us a call, and we'd be happy to look into those things. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Okay. Up next, we have Nick Marco Trigiano. Trigiano, did I nail it?
It's off, G.
Close. Trigiano. Okay. From the office of the Honorable Brian Cunningham.
Hi, everybody. Good to be here tonight. My name is Nick. I'm the Communications Director for Assemblymember Brian Cunningham. So we handle state issues. So if you're ever having trouble with things like the DMV, unemployment, give us a call. Our phone number is 718-771-3105. As the Communications Director, I also do our weekly email newsletters, so I encourage you to sign up for those. You can text D43, the letter D as in David, to 66866. So it always makes me happy when people read those. Like my friend Camille mentioned, we're paying close attention to the situation with SUNY Downstate. In our email newsletter, we have a link to fill out a survey because we want to understand, how people get their health care and what their concerns are. We have some literature over on the piano over there. And I also wanted to say that we have Women's History Month coming up, and we have a Women of Distinction event that's going to happen in May. So if you know of a woman in District 43 who's doing great work out in the community, please get in contact with us. You can nominate her. We always love to highlight the work of our community members. So thank you very much. Everyone have a good night and stay dry out there.
Thanks very much. We have two more public representatives. Up next is Andre Robinson from the office of the Honorable Crystal Hudson.
Good evening, everyone. Again, Andre Robinson from the Council Member's Office. She brings her greetings. So just a couple of announcements. We have our Housing 101 workshop, which will be at Medgar Evers College. And this particular topic is going to be about unlocking rental benefits and resources. And it's going to be on March 12th at 6. All of the flyers are over on the side. There is free tax preparation help in our office at 55 Hanson Place. It's done by appointment. So you can call us at the office and we'll schedule your appointment on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then last but not least, we also are doing a Black History Month event. It's going to be at the Weeksville Heritage Center on 158 Buffalo Avenue tomorrow between 6 and 7:30. Just a couple of announcements. We also do our constituent services pop-up with a particular agency. So next month, we're going to be doing it at the Central Library, and that agency that'll be out there will be HPD. That's going to be on March 26th. And again, we will send the flyers and the information so that way you guys are in the know, okay? Thank you so much, and if you have any questions or if you have a constituent issue, I am the Constituent Service and Community Impact Rep in the office, so you can always feel free to give my information and we can discuss whatever the issue is. office of Councilmember Crystal Huston.
We have one more speaker. Small housekeeping request. The sidebar conversations are a little bit distracting, so if we could just move those to the back if you need to speak with someone, out of respect for people who are speaking and trying to listen. Thank you. Okay, up next, Jamel Thompson from the office of the Honorable Darlene Mealy.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jamel Thompson. I'm Constituent Services for Councilmember Darlene Milley. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Our office is 400 Rockaway Avenue, phone number 718-953-3097. Every Tuesday, we have a housing specialist that comes in and helps out with any kind of troubles with landlords or tenant issues with the agencies. Every first and third Wednesday, we have a pantry event that happens in front of our office, 400 Rockaway Avenue, from 11 a.m. until the fruits, vegetables, and canned goods are gone. Every Thursday, we have immigration lawyers that comes in, helps out with anything under that umbrella. And every last Saturday of the month, we have our advisory board meeting. Our advisory board meeting will be this last Saturday of this month, which is March 30th, at our office, 400 Rockaway Avenue, from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Thank you.
That was short and sweet. I'm going to do a last call for any elected representatives' offices. Hand in the air if you would like to speak. Going once, going twice. On to the next agenda item. Thank you again to all of our members of the public who spoke today, as well as all of the representatives from our elected representatives' office in order to inform us. I do urge folks who came up and spoke as members of the public to please stay in touch with our board office. They will be able to direct your request in the right direction. There are several subcommittees of this board, which is not made up only of the 6 or 7 of us. There are many members of the board, and they operate in committees that do business usually pertaining to particular items of interest, right? So an economic development committee, an environmental protection committee, a public safety committee that deals with state liquor authority, and OCM applications. So please be in touch with our board office so that they can direct you towards the correct resources. They also can get in touch with public offices for you, such as the Department of Buildings, etc. And so, again, that's Mia Hilton. The gentleman who is just arriving is our district manager, Dante Arnwine, who is waving to his fans. And I am also joined by the chair of Community Board 9. So I made it through my part. I think I did okay. Y'all made it easy on me. I appreciate you. Thank you for being a very cooperative, respectful community so we could get through our business tonight. And we're excited to do more. And with that, I officially hand over the mic and now can go to the bathroom. Fred Baptiste.
This is the seamless. Wow.
Yeah, my bad, y'all. I said, Fred, just keep going. Didn't even go on to the next thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go on to the next piece, which is gonna be just doing roll call for our board members. And so I'll turn it over to the also honorable Linda Watson Lord to call us through attendance. And yeah, the mic is yours.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Okay. Nicholas Almanar. Fred Baptiste. Just make it, right? Janelle Brazil Charles. Janelle Brazil Charles. Rabbi Yaakov Berman. Alita Bess. Augustine Blackwell. Augustine Blackwell. Celeste Chase. Suki Chow.
Present.
Max Cohen. Max Cohen. Eve Cohen. Eve Cohen. Saul Carey. Candace Edwards. Bishop Hamilton Gonzalez. Rod Herbert. Yosef Herkoff. Renisha Laboret. Primo Lozana. Mina Legote. Israel Leher. Francisco Leopold. Courtney Lozal. Courtney Lozal. Latrine Mavina. Aaron Mazursky. John Renee. Latoya McGee. Lati Moshe.
I'm here.
Patricia Moses. Beverly Newsom. Ethan Norville. Paul Pascal. Paul Pascal. Yankee Pearson.
Present.
Vanessa. Unella Rumpari. She's excused. Dexter Roberts. Felice Robertson. Minnie Rosenberger. Dion Sapp. Debbie Timothy. Twyla Weir. Linda Watson Lord, that's me. Teresa Westerdahl. John Wolfling. Lorianne Wosley. Samal Lackman. Samal Glackman. We've got 27 members present. We've got a quorum.
Wow, good night so far. We've got a quorum. I'm gonna keep the good vibes rolling and hold on to the mic. I only get to be the boss for one night, so I'm gonna take advantage. Up next, we have the application for Landmarks and Preservation Commission. That is an application that you may remember came before the board, I believe, in our January meeting. I do want to flag for the chair of the Housing Committee, if you would like to speak at all on the business that happened in your committee meeting. I believe the applicants are not here tonight, and they did come to the Housing Committee. And if you could give an update, I would just say, just to set some context here, they came before the committee, the larger community board in January, and we ultimately asked to table it so that it could go back to committee. Just a reminder for folks, this is about, well, you can set the context around why they were flagged and why they are here.
Thank you. Yeah, so I guess the context is that the application came in front of the Housing Committee in January. We did not have a quorum at our January Housing Committee meeting. So the application came to the general board and we made the decision to send it back to committee. We had a wonderful quorum. Everyone, we had wonderful attendance at our last housing committee meeting. And unanimously just voted in favor of this application for a number of reasons. We felt that the applicant had really done everything that they could to take landmarks considerations into their renovations. The renovations in question were in the back of the building, and they really did look sort of standardized with other buildings. And the applicant had taken a lot of care to bring all of those considerations forward. They are meeting with the Landmarks and Preservation Committee this month. They might have already met, but they were meeting with them a week or so after our Housing Committee meeting, so they're going through the process now. Our hesitation had been, and we did question them on this, why they hadn't applied at the time for approval from the board. It was complicated, but they're doing it now. We forgave them and approved. So our recommendation is approval.
Okay. Thank you to the chair of the Housing Committee for giving that context around the application and the applicant. Up next, we are going to move, again, we're still in public session. We are going to move directly into these applications to the New York State Liquor Authority. I want to again set some context. Several of these applicants have already come before the board. It is optional for them to return. They had completed their full applications. We got kicked out of the space because we hit 10 o'clock before we were able to vote on these items. So on this list are 3 folks who have already come before the board and 2 new applicants this month. The first 3 have already come and presented to the general board at the general board meeting in January. Those are Esther Hadassah Corp., also known as Ish Restaurant, which is located at 43 Lincoln Road, Joseph Streamberger, to which we have heard some public commentary tonight, at 333 Kingston Avenue, and Rodeo Brooklyn LLC at 1134, 1136 President Street. We have 2 new applicants tonight. Well, they're not new, right? A renewal application for Balboa Restaurant and a renewal application for Union Street Pub. What I'm going to do at this point is speak a little bit about the 2 new applications, just to give this group some context around what those applications look like. Do I have representatives from either Balboa Restaurant or Union Street Pub present tonight? We do not. Seeing as such, frankly, like the expectation at this community board is that business owners come and speak on behalf of their business, and if they do not, then we typically table their applications until the next board meeting. I think that's I see a hand from Mr. Rabbi Berman. Mr. Berman, does this have to do with one of the applicants?
Great, we're going fast. I don't want to slow things down. 8 o'clock, we're almost done with the meeting. I love it. I'm just not sure that's accurate, we have done that, the chair, or I don't know who would chair but whoever, I think that we should, the board should either vote at the table, or we should vote to support.
Understood.
Or any, at least in my opinion, at least my recollection, being on the board for close to 10 years, if it's a renewal and they came before the committee, and the committee supported it, there's no issue to vote for it. They're not required to come. New applicants are required to come. That's maybe
I'll tell you what, I'll meet you in the middle, and what we'll do is we're gonna review some of the information here, and then we can make that decision in the business session.
No idea what you just said, but I guess we'll get to it.
Yes? Fair? Great. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. For the renewal applications, just so that everyone in the audience has context around what those renewal applications are, I'm gonna read you some of the kind of foundational information for those applications. So our first applicant is Balboa Restaurant. This is a renewal of a liquor, wine, beer, and cider license. It is located at 1655 Bedford Avenue, which is located between Montgomery and Crown Streets. It has a maximum occupancy of 74. Their hours of operation on their application are Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 12 a.m., Friday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 2 a.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. It is a Panamanian and Caribbean restaurant. They do not have live music. They have recorded music only, and we have searched the records. There are no FDNY nor NYPD complaints, as reported by our wonderful board staff. So that's Balboa Restaurant. Next, we're going to move on to Union Street Pub. Union Street Pub is located at the corner of Franklin Avenue and Union Street. The address is 829, 835 Franklin Avenue. Its hours of operation on the application, as also negotiated in the public safety meeting, are going to be Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. to 2 a.m., Friday from 5 p.m. to 3 a.m.? 2 a.m. Those are the original hours. Those have been changed. I think this is a good example of why this should be tabled, because there are some adjustments to the application that happened during the Public Safety Committee meeting. The Public Safety Committee chair is also not here. I know, I see the hand, I see the open hand, but I think that we should make this, okay, I'm gonna keep going. And then on the application, Sunday from 5 p.m. to 2 p.m. cannot be correct, it must be a.m. There are 4 tables, there are 12 seats, there is recorded music, and there is DJ performances. The business was acquired from the original owner in the winter of 2023. There was an immediate investment of $10,000 in soundproofing in the bar. There have been 311 noise complaints, and there has been an established rapport with an upstairs neighbor who has submitted some of these complaints. I will say, like, as you can tell from this application, there has been a conversation, a back and forth between this business owner. This is also a new business owner, right? So we're not looking at the same owner and bringing a renewal of a previous application. The applicant has made concessions throughout the course of the Public Safety Committee meeting for the hours of operation to be 1 a.m. on weekdays, the closing hours, 1 a.m. on weekdays, and 2 a.m. on weekends. Additional revenue will be invested in soundproofing. That is some of the outcomes from the Public Safety Committee, just sharing that context with everyone here in the audience. Seeing as, that's the context, and we'll get to it in business session as to whether we want to table these applications for the future or not, a discussion that our board can have. Regarding the previous applications, just to kind of refresh the public's memory, I'll run through them really quickly. East Restaurant, a restaurant at 43 Lincoln Road, it's a renewal application, liquor, wine, and beer. Hours of operation, Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. It is a Guatemalan and Mayan cuisine. It is 17 tables, 58 seats, only recorded music, no FDNY complaints, no NYPD complaints. Joseph's Dream Burger, I believe, has been adjudicated quite a bit in this meeting today. And we have also heard from the applicant in a previous meeting, and we have received some communications to the board office as well. And I would say that our office has also been in communication with the NYPD as indicated, but perhaps not outright said by some members of the public who came here to speak. I don't even know if they're aware, so no accusation there. I'm just informing the public that our board office has been in touch with the NYPD regarding this location. That is a new application for beer and cider. Their hours of operation would be 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. Monday through Thursday. They would be closed on Friday.
No, they're told 1 a.m. Thursday, they're open until 2 a.m. And Saturday night, 3 a.m. and they just adjusted it to 3 a.m.
So I would just ask that we,
You're not here, let's not waste time.
understood. I would just ask, not for interruptions from the audience, I'm reading to you what's on the application. Understood? Yes. I'm moving through this information.
If they're not here, we're tabling it, why are we wasting our time?
Because we're not there yet. We're not in the business session. We're informing the public. Okay. let's continue to move forward.
When we just vote on it, we should be discussing it. That's simple.
All right. Folks, call to order, right? I didn't think I was gonna have to do this tonight. Let's all continue to be respectful. We're doing so well. I was so proud of us. All right. They are seating 18 tables, 72 seats, burgers, sandwiches, and wraps, recorded music only, no outdoor dining use, occupies the first and second floor. Rodeo Brooklyn, new liquor license, wine, beer, and cider, 1134 to 1136 President Avenue, between Nostrand and Rogers Avenues, 26 tables, 68 seats, double storefront, one of which will be a record shop. They'll be serving finger foods. I will remind the public that, or for those who don't remember this, after, or what weren't present, after considering community concerns that were arisen both in the public safety meeting as well as at the general board meeting in January, the applicant made concessions to alter their business hours. Those are Sunday through Wednesday, 5 p.m. to 12 a.m., Thursday from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m., Friday through Saturday, 5 p.m. to 2 a.m., and then after confirmation of building zoning being an R6, the applicant withdrew the request to have live music. They have agreed to assign a staffer to monitor the front of the business and immediate perimeter to ensure minimal disturbances to neighbors. These concessions are all made in writing to the district office by the legal representative of that business, Anthony Carballo. Thank you for sitting through that. Those are our SLA applications, and we will get to them at our business session, but seeing as there's no representatives here from those businesses, we're not going to have an open discussion about them. Moving along, we have applications for the New York State Office of Cannabis Management, or the OCM. This is new business for Brooklyn Community Board 9. We are doing our best to try to figure it out, and there are a litany of new rules and laws that we are trying to navigate as gracefully as we can, while also trying to stay in contact with the Office of Cannabis Management. And they have not been terribly communicative, if I'm being honest, which has been difficult. And so our board office has been trying to get in contact with them. We have two applicants that we were going to discuss tonight. I, again, do not see representatives from either of those businesses present with us tonight. Those two, again, are OET Inc. and Flatbush Exotics. I believe Chair Baptiste may have a little bit more context on the relationship with OCM, if he would like to share at this time. I'm going to take this opportunity to go back. Okay.
I'm going to try and pick up very quickly. So with respect to the two applications for OET, OET is an item that we've been discussing as a board. This is at 733 Flatbush Avenue. Now, it has come to our attention, OET's application has actually been approved by OCM. So while it was on our agenda to consider for this evening, it is being removed. When we get to the point, to the business session where we're going to approve the agenda, we're going to remove that item, so we are not considering that this evening. But with that being said, there are concerns around process that we are continuing to have as a district office. So the DM is reaching out to OCM to make sure we're clear in terms of process for all OCM applications. Flatbush Exotics was approved by the executive committee. We will see what the pleasure of the board is when we get to the business session, if we are going to table them for consideration, since there is no representation here this evening. Okay. All right. So we've already done. We've already concluded. We are now in the business session. Madam Secretary has already called the roll. Are there any members of the board who have arrived who did not hear their name called? Could you please just identify yourself so we can make sure? Okay, Beverly, we have you for the record as well. So that's 28 members, correct? Yes. Okay, thank you very much. All right, one departure from the agenda. I would like to entertain a motion to amend the agenda so that way we can eliminate some items that we can officially modify the agenda to eliminate some of the items that we are not going to be considering this evening. So I will entertain a motion to eliminate section 6C, item number 2, OET, as we are no longer considering that item. And also that motion would eliminate, because previously we published this with a letter of support for CIR, that actually has to be removed. We've had a conversation with Corporation Counsel, and they advised outside of the scope of the board to do that. So we are not able to consider that letter, so we have to remove that from the consideration as well. All right, so I will entertain a motion to amend the agenda with those two items noted. Do I have a motion? I have moved by Member Large Nicholas Almanor. Do I have a second? Seconded by Rod Herbert. All right, is there any objection to common consent for these modifications? Okay, okay, unreadiness, we'll take that. So are there any questions? Ms. Newsom, we'll see you, and Rabbi, did you have a question as well? Okay, to amend the agenda, to remove OET, and to officially recognize we remove the letter of support because we cannot consider that as a board. The previously published agenda had the letter of support on there, so we're removing that officially. There was a letter of support for CIR. I'm sorry. Well, what was the name? What was CIR? It was SEIU, correct? For SEIU. So yes, they had come before. They presented last month. They were going to be added, taken from the table this month, but because after conversation with Corporation Counsel, we cannot consider it. It's out of order for the board. The motion will be out of order to consider. Okay? Are there any other questions? Yes. Cannabis management approved that one. I think there's clarifications we need in terms of how that happened. All we understand is that that was actually approved as, I believe, January. As of January, I think it was approved. So the district office is not, is not for us to consider at this time, but we are making inquiries in terms of making sure we are all clear on the process for that. Right, but we're getting clarification with respect to that. Okay?
I think it was approved in committee.
It was approved in committee. There were open questions we had, so it wasn't considered by the board or voted on by the board. So, but at this point it's moot because it was approved by the OCM. All right, with that, I'll call the question. Is there any objection to amending the agenda as stated? Correct. No, we have an objection. Order of the day, order of the day. We have an objection. Okay, we're gonna move, we're gonna call the vote. Well, she objects. No, her objection is noted. So at this time, we cannot approve it by common consent. We are going to call for a voice vote. All those in favor of amending as stated, please say aye. Aye. All right. All those opposed, please say no. Give your name for the record, please. Please record for the record, Member Celeste Chase. Please record for the record, Ms. Westerdall. Are there any other members who wish to vote no on the motion? Correct. Correct. That's all. All right. Are there any abstentions? Okay, hearing none, the agenda is amended as stated. Okay, next item will be the approval of the January 2024 General Board meeting minutes. The minutes should have been sent to all board members. Are there any revisions that need to be made to the minutes at this time? Okay, I call for a second time. Are there any corrections to be made to the minutes at this time? Okay, hearing none. Is there any objection to common consent, to approval of the minutes by common consent? Call for a second time. Any objection to approval by common consent? Hearing none, the minutes stand approved. Thank you very much. All right, we are now to item 3, committee reports. The committee reports have been submitted as part of the package to all the board members. At this time, are there any chairs who have urgent announcements they need to make at this time for the board? Okay, hearing none, any action items from the reports will be included as part of the voting items for this evening. We are now going to move on to item 4, District Manager's Report.
Just want to address for folks who have been at these meetings the past few months. We've had a family that has come to complain about rats for several months. Just want to let you know that basically I've taken this on personally. So I went to go visit their home and met with them, both the mother and the daughter and other members of their family on the weekend, several weekends ago. Saw the issue for myself, and then with the support of the district office, and I will say it's not a great situation, but it's also a block-wide issue, which was helpful to see. This is not about one business next door, it's about an entire block that has bad habits regarding garbage disposal. We also were able to, again, with the office's support, bring in the new Borough Commissioner from DSNY, Chief Lopez, I believe is her name, as well as Chief Lopez's boss from Central Office of DSNY, who came to our office to meet with the members of the family, staff from DSNY, as well as Rabbi Eli Cohen, I believe, who oversees one of the Orthodox community organizations, to speak a little bit about some solutions to this issue. And so Chief Lopez is taking this job very seriously, has done, I think, a number of things, not only to address garbage on that block, which includes fines and public education, but also has dealt with a bunch of car issues, which I'm sure that Dante is going to speak more about. And so we've opened up a really healthy, I think, dialogue between that family, our board office, as well as some of the service providers in New York City that are important to resolving this. I'd also say that, the daughter, the member of the family, Miss Hartley, has had a positive experience with engagement so far and is also applying to become a board member. So those are just some updates. Wanted to make sure that we didn't pass another board meeting without addressing it, and I'll pass it back to our fantastic district manager.
Good evening, everyone. All right. All right. Appreciate that. All right. So, with my report, official notice from the Department of Sanitation. Starting March 1st, 2024, all businesses in New York City must have bins with secure lids. If your business does not use a bin with a secure lid, you will be fined. Keep bins inside, outside facing the building, or within 3 feet of the building line. Set bins out after 8 p.m. or an hour before closing. The Department of Consumer and Worker Protection is proposing to amend the penalty schedules concerning the towing of vehicles and booting of motor vehicles. DCWP will hold its public hearing on this rule change. The public hearing will take place at 11 a.m. on March 11th. The public hearing will be accessible by phone and video conference. The Department of City Planning will be holding, its City of Yes Economic Opportunity Vote on March 6th at 10 a.m. In-person participation will be at the CPC hearing room, which is 120 Broadway in Manhattan. That information has been in our e-blast as well. The Department of Transportation has published rules for Dining Out NYC, the city's permanent outdoor dining program. These rules will take effect March 3rd of this year. That application portal will launch shortly. Once we get that information, we'll put that in our e-blast as well. Also, the Department of Transportation wants to hear from all of you. They currently have a DOT strategic plan circulating. You have an opportunity to comment on that as well. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you have an opportunity to comment on as well. You have until March 1st to make a comment on that DOT strategic plan. That has also been in our e-blast as well. The Department of Environmental Protection will be holding a public hearing relating to the term adjacent as it relates to vehicle idling. That public hearing is scheduled for March 7th, 2024. That is in our e-blast as well. A little bit, just dovetailing off of what Primo had said about DSNY, they did conduct a tag and tow operation January 30th and the 31st. Just the results of that tag and tow. 19 vehicles were removed. 10 vehicles were issued summonses, 23 vehicles were tagged, breaking that down, 11 were put in the roto, and 12 were derelict. 6 of the vehicles that were there were moved without delay. So DSNY and the NYPD are abreast of all of the issues surrounding abandoned vehicles along our streets. This is something that is honestly timeless, a timeless issue. So if you see this, if you see a vehicle that doesn't have plates, if it looks derelict, take a photo of it, reach out to the board office. Please take photos, please, 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 please. Reach out to the board office with that information, and we'll forward it over to DSNY and the NYPD so it's on their radar as well. The Department of Transportation has approved a traffic signal at the intersection of Franklin Avenue and Union Street. That is tentatively scheduled to be completed May 31st of this year. Community board applications are officially closed. Any questions concerning your application should be directed directly to Borough Hall. You can email them at cbapplication@brooklynbp.nyc.gov, or you can give them a phone call at 718-802-3700. I'm gonna come back to that one. All right, so in partnership with HPD, Department of Housing Preservation and Development, and Digital Girl, we're going to be hosting a Housing Connect workshop for the public. That's going to be on March 6th at 6:30 via Zoom. For folks who may not have access to internet, this is very important. I will put this on the flyer when I send it all out. Digital Girl is going to allow folks to come to their location at Major Owens to do it in person. So if you know someone who would like to apply for affordable housing, they may not have access to internet, connect them with the board office, they can go in person to Digital Girl. SUNY Downstate has administered a community survey in light of the ongoing speculation regarding its closure. That survey can be filled out until March 24th of this year. It's been on our e-blast. If you don't have it, I definitely encourage everyone to fill out that survey to voice your opinion. Just a couple of notes and then I'll be finished from the District Service Cabinet this morning. We have had 2 recent homicides in the past couple of months, within the past month, in the vicinity of Utica, President, and Union. The NYPD does not believe that these incidents are related. So just be aware of your surroundings in that area. There has been an uptick of EBT crimes and property theft crimes. So if you drive a vehicle, lock your vehicle. Don't leave your phone charger out, put things away. People are looking in, checking doors, and taking property. And then an update, Beverly, this is for you. You sent over a complaint regarding Franklin and Montgomery regarding the construction on the corner using the B48 bus stop for the cars, cones, and other construction equipment. DOT is going to send out enforcement in the morning, and I specifically had them do it in the morning. So just wanted to let you know. All right, so with that, that's my report.
At this time, we can take a couple of questions from members of the board. Lucid, to see you. Anyone else have a question? Anybody?
Golden Crest when they were brought in front of Albany?
I do not have an update on that, but I will follow up and see. Well, they didn't respond to me, so I'll follow up and see if they will actually give a response. But they haven't followed up. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. All right. Oh, also, just off that, just a little different. If you do see construction taking up bus space, please let me know. It's a DOT issue. It's not MTA, FYI. So just let me know and I'll forward it directly over to DOT.
I want to thank our district manager, and I also want to thank our new district rat czar for his fine work. But again, thank you very much, First Vice Chair Lasana, for taking that up. What? Late flag? Go ahead. Your question.
I just wanted to say thank you to Dante for hosting that meeting on the citywide statement of needs. I think it was just you and I, but as Dante reminded us, and I've told my ULURP committee, this is where the city says where they want to put homeless shelters, if they want homeless shelters or other types of facilities like waste transfer or, you know, other things that your neighbors might not like. So, you know, pay attention to this. And one issue is that the city put out an open RFP without stating where these were going to go, how many they wanted, or anything like that. So that's how they're kind of just dropping these. It's supposed to come through ULURP, which is my committee, but so far they haven't. So just to let you guys know.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to move on to my the chairman's report. I'm going to try and follow our first vice chair's lead and keep this moving as quickly as possible. But there definitely are a few reports that I want to make sure, things I want to put on everyone's radar. First of all, I want to thank all the committees and the chairs who have discussed the community fair. So that is being planned and we are moving forward. So the instructions that had gone out was that we were looking for conversations and ideas to come through those committees. We had set a deadline of February because we want to begin the process of planning that. So we are going to be having conversations in terms of finalizing dates, locations, as well as contacting resources that we would definitely like to see come back or come into the district for the first time. I think the last 2 years have been really extremely successful, and I've been so proud of this board and the community. It's been well received, and we're looking to go on to even greater successes this year. I also wanted to very briefly discuss quality of life in the 71st precinct. The district manager, myself, and the chair of public safety, we did actually meet with the newly installed precinct commander for the 71st. It was a great conversation, and I think some of the things echoed by the district manager. We were able to talk about traffic enforcement. We also had a good conversation about cannabis enforcement as well. And I think coming from that, we learned something from that in terms of the enforcement. As much as we keep saying NYPD is responsible for that, that is not NYPD's responsibility. That is through the Sheriff's Department. So we are engaging in outreach with the Sheriff's Department to find out what is the best way to address these issues. We've seen a proliferation of these illegal shops. We want to make sure that we are doing our best to make sure that anybody who comes to this district is doing what they need to do by us. So if it's illegal, we want to make sure that we are putting the mechanisms in place to address that immediately. So there will be additional conversations. Once we have additional information, we'll be able to reach back out to the board and to the community at large to talk about how do I identify them and what the next steps would be in terms of making sure we correct any issues and situations. And I want to take this opportunity again to plug. Part of what helps us be able to do our work and to identify the issues is, one, please reach out to neighbors and contact 311 when you see something happen. If it's noise issues, if it's garbage, if it's trash, if it's unsafe conditions, please make sure you're recording that, because that's how the city tracks these things. And then once you've done that, part B, please contact the district office with that reference number that you will get, because that enables us from the CB9 level, the district level, to actually follow up on these complaints to make sure that they're being resolved appropriately. I hate to say that sometimes the experiences we see that agencies have kind of picked up where they close tickets very quickly to say that they have a great response time, but the issue lingers on and on and on for long periods of time. So we want to make sure that we're able to track the CB9 side to make sure that there is true resolution. So again, please make sure, tell a friend, 311, and then CB9, so that way we can track. Very, very quickly, I just wanted to address, we have on the agenda for this month removals. That is actually going to be postponed because there are issues of notification that were brought up to our attention. There is a process by which we go through as a board in terms of removing members, so that there were some gaps in that. We are rectifying that, and that's going to happen, so that'll be postponed when we get to that point of the agenda. But I do want to also be clear as well. It's important to attend the board meetings. It's important to attend the committee meetings. The committee meetings are what drive the board. It's where the work gets done. And the board meetings are where we're actually able to meet and discuss and make decisions on behalf of this district. But that means we need for people to honor their commitments in terms of coming to both of those things. And I always say this, we understand we're all humans, we have families, we have issues, we have life that happens. And if any members have any issues, please make sure to reach out to the district office, or you can reach out to me as well, and we'll try and work as best as we can. But we want to make sure the lines of communication are open. All right, and that's what we want to say with respect to that. I also wanted to address, because we just voted on that, there was a letter of support that was on the agenda originally for the SEIU. Unfortunately, after consultation with Corporation Counsel, it was advised that that is beyond the scope for us to actually weigh in on management labor issues. So it was inappropriate for the board, it was out of the scope of the board, so that's why that was removed. But I wanted to make sure we were willing to entertain that, because I think that business should be decided by the board, wherever possible. So with that, I just wanted to give you that explanation in terms of the reason why that was being removed. And you know, I just want everyone to have that information. Sorry. I'm almost done, I'll be done shortly. Yes, and also wanted to address, because I know that there were questions and eyebrows raised with respect to some of the SCA or OCM applications that were approved. So that is something that we are definitely going to be reaching out to those respective agencies between SLA and OCM to make sure that there is a clear understanding of when the board advocates its right to weigh in on something, or if we need extensions, or if we have any objections to applications. So we are going to be reaching out to them to make sure that there is a clear understanding. That's also going to be going out to board members, to the respective committee members as well, so that way we all understand and we're asking the right questions. Along those lines as well, I think that we've experienced over the last several months, and especially with the inclusion of OCM, we definitely want to make sure that there's a fine-tuning of policy in terms of the board, so that way perhaps we come up with some kind of a scheme where we are clear in terms of what the expectations are of good neighbors in the district. So as opposed to having conversations about closing hours, the board can decide in advance what we feel is reasonable. And again, I think we want to have conversations, and we want to be reasonable with people who bring businesses to the district, because that is economic vitality. But by that same token, we also want to make sure that the neighbors are respected in that mode as well. So we will be having conversations around what seems appropriate. You know, we won't get it all perfect, immediately, but we do want to have those conversations because it streamlines that. And I think it's important to set expectations for everyone who's doing business in the district to understand what the responsibilities are to the district as well. And lastly, I just wanted to discuss very quickly as a look ahead. We have had conversations with the Transportation Committee. They've developed two recommendations, resolutions. So we're going to be fine-tuning that as well in terms of combining those for a holistic policy statement for transportation in the district that's going to include a number of facets, between bike lanes, between zip cars, between a number of different aspects. But I think it's good for us to be able to have that one policy statement that everybody we speak to can point to that and say, this is where this district stands with respect to that. Additionally, housing voted to create a resolution as well in terms of what the expectations are for housing, what the needs are. So that is going to be worked on as well. So please expect that to be coming up in the next month or so. And as I say that, I want to thank all the committees for the work you do, but I also want us to start looking in that head, because I think as a board we've matured, we've come a long way, and I want us to look at that mode of doing things in terms of going through resolutions, because what those do for any policymakers or decision makers is it basically gives the statement in terms of what we as a district see as the facts on the ground, and what we as a district see as the actual solutions to this. It's easier for us to, when we do that, it's a conversation, we agree as a district, and we're able to go to our elected officials in terms of these are the expectations of the district. So absolutely, I encourage all the committees to continue working in that vein, and hopefully we'll get a few more policy statements from each of the respective areas as well. But I want to thank all the committees and the board members and the residents for all the work that you do in your attending these committees and helping CB9 do its function. That is all I have for report at this time. I will entertain a couple of questions from the board. Ms. Newsom, I see you. Bishop Hamilton Gonzalez, I see you. And Ms. Chase, I see you as well. Ms. Newsom, go ahead.
You're kind of interrelated. Is Community Board 9 going to have a separate committee for cannabis and the license?
I'm sorry, hold on one second. Just for we're going to give you a mic just to ask your question. Thank you.
Hello. Is Community Board 9 going to have a separate committee for the licensing of cannabis businesses that are opening up? Because this is why I'm asking. I'm asking because right now we're at the beginning of it, but we're seeing all of these little shops pop up all over, and we already are inundated with liquor licenses. We don't want, each one of them are extremely significant, and we don't want, because we are being overwhelmed, either one of them end up being overlooked. That's why I'm asking that question. And my next one is, are we gonna have a forum, a town hall? And I sent an email to Francesca yesterday about having a forum, a town hall, because people are assuming the legalization of cannabis is let's have fun. And the way they're selling it too, in gummy bears and baked goods, I think it's manipulating children. And I think there should be an education about it. And we as a community board, given how many of these little things are popping up and we are densely populated when it comes to schools, we should take responsibility, or at least have a voice. Because when it comes up in a gummy bear, up until now, gummy bears were for kids. I mean, or people who like candy. Those are my two questions.
Excellent. I'm gonna take the second one first. Please remind me of the first one. Just right as I started taking notes. Okay. No, excellent question, and that is something we're gonna have to explore as a board. And I say that only because logistically, we have 10 current standing committees, and that means we have to split up board membership between 10 committees. When we add committees and we do things that were subcommittees of that nature, that means that's extra resources we gotta put towards that. So we have, the committees get smaller in terms of board representation. That's extra time we have to find in terms of that. Not to say we don't, but I think it's a conversation we're still going through, because I think we're still new into the process. I don't think we've really gotten into a groove in terms of understanding how many of these things we're gonna see. But absolutely an open question that we're gonna be looking into. Also, I think with respect to the second one, definitely if you've already reached out to the Health and Social Services Chair, okay. No.
I'm not trying to blow you up. I'm just trying to say, let you know that I've already done an outreach, and now I'm coming to you with the same thing, so you can kind of score that.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think to your point, cannabis is brand new here, and I think there have definitely been issues that have been highlighted with this. Now, I would say offhand, I believe things of that nature, like gummies and stuff like that, I believe are illegal, or they're covered by, there's different laws that cover different things. So rather than speak out of school, I don't want to give bad information, but I think to your point, we need to get good information out there, and we need to find out what's going on. So definitely, absolutely. So I think definitely we'll have a conversation, we'll see what this looks like and how we can do that. So that'll be a conversation. Thank you for that. I'm sorry, did you have a question?
I was just going to add that this year, just as another solution, because I frankly agree that the business is getting pretty big for the Public Safety Committee. There's 3 pieces of business for them: liquor licenses, cannabis, and actual public safety with NYPD and FDNY. That's a big slate of business. And what we did this year was also took a look at committees and combined our Youth Services and Education Committee. So there could also be solutions in combining committees to make more space for new committees. So a good point to raise, something for us to look at as we look at structure for the coming year.
Fred, one thing I haven't mentioned, and I have already mentioned, we are paying a lot of attention to ELOC.
No, transportation has been very on that. They've been very on that. Well, no, they've created resolutions on this. So the only thing we're doing is we're crafting that larger resolution, more holistic. But it's absolutely something that they've discussed. Absolutely. No, thank you. Bishop Hamilton Gonzalez.
Yes, I'm sick. I'm fighting the cold.
For the folks online.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to take this opportunity to honor Dante and his amazing team at the district office for the tremendous work that they do and the excellent results that we have in our community. Thank you, Dante.
Thank you very much for that, Bishop Gonzalez. Ms. Chase, right? You got a question?
So my question relates to the item that was moved off. Okay, my question relates to the item that was moved off the agenda relating to cannabis license. And as a board member, I don't understand
understand what happened. So from what we've heard, it's been approved by the state already, although it went to the committee and never got to the board from what you said. And so I'm trying to understand as a person in the community and as a board member, how is a license approved without any oversight by the board? And so to table it, we should still have an opinion about it. And even if the opinion is too late, we should be able to voice our opinion about this particular license. So that's why I agreed to not table that particular matter. But I think that we all need an explanation as to what happened, because we as a community can't have cannabis licenses approved with a whole board in the community not being involved in that process. I hear that it got through committee, but the committee is not the board. And so as a board member, I can't sit up here and come, and spend my day after work at a board meeting when the board is not getting the information that we need. And so we have to rectify that, and if it means that we need to put it on a calendar to make sure we're meeting the deadlines that are set, then that's what we need to do. But this is really unacceptable, especially because of the proliferation of all of these unlicensed cannabis shops that we walk by every day. And it is a public safety issue, not only for adults, but particularly, as Beverly said, for children and the development of their minds, because cannabis, even though it seems to be okay for most people, for children it's not. And the level of toxicity that's in current products is something different than 20 or 30 years ago. So it's a real concern. It's not something to play with. And I think by not having a voice, the community is really disrespecting everyone. We're all being disrespected in this process, particularly children. So I'm really concerned about that, and I think that the whole community needs an explanation from the board as to what happened and to make sure it doesn't happen in the future. Whatever license it is.
No, absolutely. No, and thank you for those questions, those comments. And absolutely, we are not dropping that in terms of we're just moving by, we forget it ever happened. Part of what we want to do is the district office is going to be reaching out to make sure we understand what happened. Because as you said, the stakes are important to this district and this community. So we want to make sure we have that information, and there will be there will be feedback that is provided to the board in terms of what happened with that, and if there's any corrections or anything in terms of things that we need to do in terms of process, we make sure that we're adhering to those as well. So there will be additional information. It's not done. And if it's appropriate at that time, we may still say we want to give an opinion, but we need to get all that other information first before we bring it before the board. It's hard to say. I don't know. That's part of the problem. And that's why the district office, all we know is, what I can tell you is this: they are on record as having been approved. There are questions as to how that happened. We need to make sure that we are clear in terms of process, so that way we can make sure that something like that doesn't happen without the board input. So there are things that we need to make sure we're clear on. That will be relayed back to the board and to the appropriate committees.
Isn't there a deadline? We missed the deadline. It's basically it. I think right now. I think we missed the deadline. There's a deadline. There's a 30-day deadline that we have to meet. We can ask for an extension to 60 days. We did none of those. So I don't know what's happening with other licenses. I understand there's a lot on the back burner, but this is alarming. What about Flatbush? What's happening with that? It seems like it's too late now. We're missing the deadline overall, and we have no voice because of our enactments.
Well, and let me be clear about this as well. One, I think that, again, we're trying to get the answers to find out. If it was a matter of it's something on our side, we will make whatever adjustments we need to make. If it's something in terms of process, we want to make sure we're clear and that the state is clear in terms of what everybody's roles and what the timeframes are.
It's 30 days.
Understood. Okay. No. Fair enough. But I also want to say, understood. Okay. But we're not going to argue that. Like I said, there will be an answer provided to the board. Ms. Westerdahl, we're agreeing here. We're going to get an answer to this. But the final thing I want to say with that as well is that, you know what, we've blown a couple of opportunities as a board because we don't show up. So I want to put that out there. So yes, let's have these conversations, let's be where we need to be, and let's make sure we vote as we need to vote. So there will be. It's board members. Yeah, we've missed a couple of these. So, again, that's part of the reason why we want to make sure that we have this clear. There will be additional information after the district office does its work, and we'll be able to discuss and come back to the board. Well, yeah, I mean, those questions may lead to other questions.
License are one thing and
Right.
cannabis is another, and that timeline is short like that. You find out when
Yeah.
you're talking, there's an issue like that, they
Well,
gotta-
right. But I also want to make sure that I'm clear as well. I mean, on the one hand, it's great to have another committee, but if we look at the committee attendance, that's a whole other thing as well. So, conversations we'll have as a board. We're not perfect, obviously, but we're getting better and we're doing the things we need to do to get better as well. So that's the commitment you have from me as the chair, and that's the commitment from the district office as well. And I shouldn't even say that. And I think I feel safe in saying that this executive team, this executive committee as well, they ask those questions and definitely dedicated in terms of making sure that those are the kinds of conversations that happen. How do we improve the support? Okay. All right. We want to keep this moving. Oh, yes. Okay. All right. We'll take that last question, and then we need to move on so we can get to the board maps. Go ahead.
Come a long way around here.
Max, go long.
I just want to build on what everyone said, just that I think that the cannabis licensing is very confusing, and it's confusing about who's supposed to approve, and we all see all of these shops showing up on every corner of our district, and I just want to be able to better understand how the licensing process is happening. So I'm not necessarily suggesting a committee or not a committee or whatever. I just want to build on the idea that I think we all need a bit of a tutorial, because I think we all know the state just completely botched this entire process, and now everyone's paying the price for that. So, yeah.
Just to respond to just some of the sentiments that have been shared tonight. 0 of the shops that are up in our district are licensed at this moment.
Correct.
They're all illegal, right?
Correct.
And we also know that the NYPD does not adjudicate that. It is the state. And just want to take a moment to say that, and also to say that licensed shops all require ID to enter. They should. And so with regard to our youth are entering unlicensed shops at the moment, and they have the ability to get product that way, but not the case at licensed shops according to the rules and structures of licensing.
Right, which is why we want to better understand how to get those licensing processes underway, because it's not just the shop, the explicitly THC shops, it's the bodegas that are illegally selling, that are unregulated products that are, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Fred shared a little bit in his chairman's report around some conversations with the state to get a better understanding, and so I think we can report in greater detail in the future on those conversations. But thank you. The point is well taken and heard from everybody. Thank you.
And my apologies. I did have one last item actually that I need to discuss. First of all, I want to extend my apologies that the district manager and I were late today. But the reason why we were late today is because we were at an engagement meeting with respect to downstate. So there is definitely word with respect to a transformation plan is what is being billed as, in terms of going away from the hospital with the 304 beds and the services that's currently provided to something way smaller. So we've been trying to engage in fact-finding, trying to find out exactly what this plan is, what does it entail, what are we talking about gaining, and what we are talking about losing. These conversations are still going, but I'll be candid and I'll share my thoughts personally. I think we lose way more than we gain out of this whole project. So this is something that we are looking at in terms of a response as a board. So, and honestly, it's like this is something that it's so quick that they've done it, and the expectation is that we're signing off on a $300 million project because that's what is going to be approved by the state, and that's wrong. Hold on one second. So we are looking at in terms of what the engagement is going to be and what the actions are going to be with respect to the board, understanding time is very, very short, because even with the timing that they did this, this is going to go very quickly in terms of they started an engagement, which is going to be a very short process. And I believe it's going to be a short process because so many things are tied to the budget, and that process ends around April. Understood, and I'm looking at the confused and puzzled faces, and we have the same thing. So we are looking at in terms of what's the fastest way and the most effective way for us to respond as a board, and let them know that, you know, even though downstate doesn't physically reside in CB9, it does concern CB9 in this entire district. So we are absolutely looking into that, and we are looking at what actions and statements we can make as a board with respect to that as well. Right. Okay. All right. All right. So, and I apologize. So we're going to move.
Not any of our state elected officials, Cunningham, Sufron, Myrie, not any of them. But they can't turn this around?
There are definitely entities that are moving. Okay, well, let me just say this very quickly, and I want to be very careful. There are entities that are moving and some that have not moved as quickly as we would like to see. But what we are going to do is, as a board, we are going to have our statement and our expectation with respect to that. So that is going to be moving very quickly, and we'll be sharing with the board and the community what we're able to do as quickly as we can, understanding that there's a very tight time frame, but we're going to make those moves. Okay? All right, thank you very much. All right. Okay, we're going to now go into the voting session. Okay. So first item is the LPC application for 418 Rogers Avenue. The housing chair presented before with respect to the committee's vote. So the committee had voted and to approve the LPC application. This has already been added to the agenda. There is no need for a motion to consider. At this time, we will open the floor. Are there any questions? Any unreadiness before we vote?
Motion to support the application.
Okay, we don't need to, it's already there. So at this time, are there any questions before we vote? Call for a second time. Any questions before we vote? Okay, hearing none, we are going to call the question. Is there any objection to approving this LPC application by common consent? Call for a second time. Any objection to approval by common consent? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, please note it's approved by common consent. The LPC application for 14 Rogers is approved by common consent. All right, we are now going to go to SLA applications. So the first one we're going to be considering is for Ish Restaurant. Ish was here. No, it's actually pronunciation. So yes, so they presented before the board before. They were approved by the SLA committee. I'm sorry, by the Public Safety Committee. They have appeared before the board before. The motion is now being considered by the board. Are there any questions with regards to this application?
Their number A?
Yes, correct. Yeah, section B, letter I. I call again. Are there any questions with respect to this application? Okay, hearing none, we're going to call the question. Is there any objection to adopting, to approving this by common consent? Okay, we have an objection. At this time, in the interest of time, I'm going to ask all those members in favor of approving this application, please say aye. Aye. All those members who wish to oppose, please state your name for the record. Please record Beverly Newsom as a no. Any other members wish to record a no vote? Okay, we have one no vote. Is there any member who wishes to abstain at this time? Please state your name for the record. Call again. Any member who wishes to abstain, please state your name for the record. Okay, hearing one vote no, no abstentions, the motion to approve passes. Thank you very much. We are now going to go to item number 2, Joseph's Dream Burger. All right. I believe that there are some questions that have come up with respect to this application. I think there's some information that we need to vet as a board. Dante, with respect to Joseph's Dream Burger, do you have any information with respect to NYPD or 311 complaints? All right.
There were noise complaints. Just to reiterate what Attorney Martin here, there were some community concerns brought by the direct neighbor that most of the board members heard about ongoing music possible drug use at 2 a.m., NYPD responses. So I guess the board is fine to move with that information.
Yes.
All right, so for Joseph's Dream Burger, they are applying for a new license. Okay. All right, the motion is currently on the floor. Are there any questions with respect to this application?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
looking at in temporary retail permit. Was it in committee, can we elaborate on that, Mr. Committee? Well, I'm looking at a liquor license in addition to a temporary retail permit. What does that retail permit cover?
Which page are you seeing that information?
On the front,
The last word.
Right, I'm just trying to figure out if they're going to be creative. Because, you understand what I'm saying? If they're going, we're looking at a new liquor license and temporary retail. I just want to know what the retail part is covering. The service. That's it.
Can I restate what was just said by Mia? So Mia just said this, so I'm not adding anything. This is all Mia's brilliance, but a temporary retail license allows the applicant to immediately begin serving retail service of that weird beer, cider, and wine license. It's temporary before the license is approved by the SLA. It's a conditional temporary service, yeah.
Okay, are there any other questions? Yes, Mr. Herbert.
So my question with regards to the premises is what I've heard with regards to the construction that was done on the premises. All right, so throughout the city, there have been a number of locations where construction has been done unauthorized, which has, caused either injury or fatality. So if any construction was done on the premises that could alter the structural integrity, we should know about that. That's my biggest concern, because it's going to be occupied with people. So we should know if what was done in the building is structural integrity compromised. That's a safety aspect.
If I could ask, District Office, is there a building inspection before they open? Is there an inspection that's done before?
So from what I heard, this was a brand new staircase that was installed in order to access another portion of the building. Right? So if that's the case, then a DOB permit should be on file, along with drawings and so forth. So I think the question is, if I look at DOB now, is that on? And I could also, I don't know, I'm just talking, rhetorically.
I don't think we have an answer to that.
No.
Okay.
So I think we just have to look at some of these things. For me, I would like to know if the building is sound.
Well, here's the thing. Well, hold on. Let me be clear. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, order of the day. Things of that nature, I'm not sure in the scope in terms of, we don't usually require to say, let's see your building permits to see if any permits have been done. What we are looking to say is this establishment, are we okay with them serving alcohol? Because that is going to be something that the city will catch them for, but it might be out of the scope of what we're considering this evening. Okay? All right. So are there any questions with Ms. Newsom? We'll see you, and then.
We can't pass part of a bad project because it's not within our scope. They are here because we're community board representing the community. If there was construction done inside of that building and DOB is a requirement that DOB passes that construction, we can't go, well, look at our purpose, and that's what we stay focused on. We're focused on the business that's asking for a liquor license. If any part of that is bad, the whole thing is bad. So.
Alternatively, I would say, if you want to pass the liquor license, you pass the liquor license, and by that same token, by that same right, any member of the community can dial 311 and say, I have a concern about the safety, and we can have DOB do an inspection. But I think it's apples and oranges. Those are two different issues. So at this point, the board can consider if we want to pass the application, that's fine. Okay? All right. So here's what we're doing. Okay? So at this time, I think we finished the questions. So at this time, we're going to vote on the item. Okay? All right. All those in favor of approving the application for Joseph Dreamberger, please say aye. Okay. All those opposed, please say no. Okay. All right. No. Okay. All right. All those members. Okay. Order of the day. We're gonna get this done very quickly. We're gonna get this done. All right. Madam Secretary, please call the roll for this one. Everyone pay attention, answer quickly.
Nicholas Almanar. Fred Baptiste.
Nicholas Almanar.
Abstain.
No, not here. Rabbi Yaakov Berman. Alita Bass. Celeste Chase. Suki Chow. Bishop Hamilton Gonzalez.
Yes.
Rod Herbert.
Herbert's no.
Yusuf Herf. Yusuf? Renisha LaBerry. Primo Lozana. Israel Laher. Francisco Leopold. Letwin Lavina. Aaron Mazursky. John Renee. Lati.
Yes.
Beverly Newsom. No. Ethan Narville, sorry. Yankee Pearson. Vanessa. Dexter Roberts. Felice Robertson. Felice. Benny. Debbie Timothy. Twyla Beer. Twyla. Twyla. I don't want to hear you from nobody. Lynn Watson Lord. Abstain. Teresa Westerdahl. John Wolfling. Yeah. Lorianne Wilsley. Samar Zachman. For a minute, I'll tell you.
Okay, while that's being tallied, my concern is that's a lot of abstentions. If-
No concern, if it doesn't pass, moving on.
Understood. No, but right, no, but I just want to be clear, we're getting at that. If we're in favor, we're in favor. If we're not, we shouldn't. But what I would advise board members from now on, if it's a matter of there's something technical or there's more information required, next time it's better to just say, listen, let's table it. So that way we can either vote yes or vote no. But I don't think it's, we've already voted. We've already voted.
He's just making a suggestion for the future.
Yes. As a go forward, it's like we should, I understand every once in a while there may be a serious conflict and we may have a few abstentions, but when half the board abstains, that's usually problematic. Vote yes or vote no, and that's okay. Madam Secretary, please put me down as a yes. Yes, results please. Well, how many yes? 7 yes. 7 no, and how many abstentions? And 15 abstentions. Motion fails due to lack of a majority of the board. It failed. The motion failed. It's not approved. Okay, we're gonna move on to item 3, Rodeo Brooklyn, LLC. This is for a new liquor, wine, beer, and cider license. This was before the Public Safety Committee and received an affirmative vote from them, approved by the Executive Committee. The motion is currently on the floor. Are there any questions with respect to this application? Three, Rodeo Brooklyn. I'll go for a second time. Are there any questions with respect to this application? Yes, Suki Musi.
No, this was an application where the applicant did come before the board in January. We did not vote because we ran out of time. Yes. Sure, I have it in front of me. Quickly, because we don't want to run out of time again at this meeting, so I'd urge everyone to be concise and direct moving forward. So, Rodeo Brooklyn, the hours of operation are Sunday to Wednesday, 5 p.m. to 12 a.m., Thursday from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m., Friday and Saturday from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Okay. Are there any questions, other questions with respect to this application? Okay, hearing none, we're going to call the question. I will ask, is there any objection to approving this by common consent? Yes, there is. Okay, it's heard. All right, we are going to call the vote. All those members in favor of approving the application, please say aye. Aye. All those members opposed, please say your name for the record. Please record Beverly Newsom as a no. Please record Renisha Labari as a no. Ethan Norville as a no, please. Member Celeste Chase as a no, please. Are there any other members who wish to record a no vote at this time? Suki?
Yeah, I mean, I would be for a stipulation for 1 a.m.
It's a yes or a no.
We already negotiated with them. Yes. The revised hours are concessed hours. They were not the applied 4 hours.
Okay. Are there any other no votes to be recorded? Okay. Abstentions. Please note Dexter Roberts is an abstention. Are there any other?
Sorry, I think we just have. Yes. who voted no, correct? Can you just raise your hands quickly for me? Thank you.
Correct.
No, yes. Beverly Newsom.
I've got on record so far, Beverly Newsom, Renisha LeBerry, Ethan Norville, Celeste Chase.
And Suki Chung.
Suki, no?
Are there any other members who wish to record a no vote?
You said recording the vote?
Yeah, so who's voting no? Who's voting no? We got you, we got you. All right, are there any members who wish? Are there any members who wish to abstain at this time? Dexter, you abstain, right? Yes. You have Dexter Roberts as an abstention? Any other members who wish to abstain at this time? Okay, hearing none. Madam Secretary, what's the count?
5 no votes, 1 abstain. So that
Okay, 22 in favor, it was 5 no and 1 abstention, correct? All right, the motion carries. The application is approved. Okay, we are now going to go to Balboa. So this is Balboa Restaurant located on 1655 Bedford Avenue. This is a renewal application for liquor, wine, beer, and cider license. Are there any questions with respect to this application? We can't, they're a renewal license. We can table it if the board wishes to do that, but, okay, hold on. I would say that this is an applicant, they've been in the district for 30 years at this point. Correct, so, I mean, if we wish to, we can, but we can dispatch this now, it doesn't make sense to carry it. Okay? All right, so listen, are there any questions with respect to the application?
And we know they haven't had any conflict anyway. Yes.
Correct. Correct. All right. Are there any other questions with respect to the application? Okay, hearing none, we're going to call the question. All those members of the board in favor of approving the application, please say aye. Aye. Okay, are there any members who wish to vote no? Please say your name for the record. Are there any members who wish to vote no? Please say your name for the record. Okay, are there any members who wish to abstain at this time? Please say your name for the record. Call for a second time. Anyone who wishes to abstain, please say your name. Okay, hearing none, I hear no opposition, I hear no abstentions. The motion carries. Thank you very much. We are now going to go to item 5, Union Street Pub. Union Street located at 835 Franklin Avenue. This is an application for a new beer cider license with temporary retail permit. So this is a new owner, so this is why this is an application. Okay, so the motion is on the floor. So any questions with respect to this application, this motion? Yes, Mr. Wolfman, is here.
This new owner has not come to board, correct?
They've come to the SLA. Yes, I'm sorry, Public Safety Committee. They're not here today for their first appearance in front of the general board.
That's correct. Are there any, I'm sorry, what was your point? Okay. All right, so it's duly noted they have not appeared before the board. At this time, we will entertain a motion to table till the March meeting. Is there a motion on the floor? Moved by Dexter Roberts. Seconded by Rod Herbert. So the motion currently on the floor is to table this application to the March meeting. Okay? All right. Is there any discussion on this motion? Yes.
I mean, the owner was very responsible in committee, at the committee meeting. I don't know why he's not here today. He should have been here, but he was very responsible and very, very eager to please anything that the committee brought up to him, but
No.
he's not here, so we
No,
should.
duly noted, and this is not penalizing the owner, but typically, especially for a first-time application, we want to see the applicant so that way they can address the board and answer any questions. Okay, all right, so with that, let me ask, is there any objection to the motion, to tabling by common consent? Is there any objection? Call for a second time? We want to do this by common consent. Is there any objection to table? Okay, hearing no objection, we're going to table this application. All right, we are now going to move on to the OCM. All right, everyone, please hang tight. We're almost done. We are almost done. Yes. Okay, so the next one we're going to be considering is Flatbush Exotics. Flatbush Exotics is located at 544 Flatbush Avenue. They appeared before the Public Safety Committee. It was approved at the committee level. It was approved to come before the board by the Executive Committee. At this time, we will open the floor for questions on the application.
Are they going to be approved automatically by the OCM? Because we're delayed in our vote. Are we delayed or not the second vote?
Hold on, let me ask.
We didn't ask for extension.
We haven't, Dante, when did we originally? Right, this is the first time appearing before the board. Correct. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. Again, I think just to be consistent, this is their first application and they have not appeared before the board this evening. I will entertain a motion to table this application. All right, it's been, okay, hold on. It's been moved to table by Nicholas Almanor. Okay, order of the day. Ms. Westerdahl. It's been moved to table by Nicholas Almanor. Do I hear a second? I hear a second by Felice Robertson. All right, is there any unreadiness about this motion? Suki, yes.
I want to make a statement for the record that my neighbor, this store is in my neighborhood in Prospect Oak Garden Center. My neighbors are opposed to this location and the other location on Fenimore and Flatbush. They've been operating the neighborhood for at least a few years. This particular location is very close to two schools. It's around the corner from the Maple Street preschool. It's a block away from the Sea Gardens preschool on Luttrell and Flatbush. And I understand that the OCM rules are it has to be on the same road and within 500 feet, but that doesn't allay our concerns for our children because as Celeste says, this is about the health of our children. They shouldn't be exposed to this. On top of that, they came to my block party on Fenimore Street this summer. They set up a tent.
Suki, I understand your points, but this it's not quite germane to the motion. This is with respect to tabling this. Absolutely, these are points you can make as part of debate when we consider the actual motion.
We're not getting, this has been voted on by County Control prior to our doing anything. I would like to make a statement for the record that we're opposed because of the behavior of this applicant. They set up a tent on my block party advertising cannabis, adult cannabis products, and handed out watermelon and candy to the children. It's like having the local drug dealer dress up as Santa and give out candy to the children. That's completely inappropriate. It's in violation of the intent of state law not to market these products to children. And, you do not have to approve everyone who comes before you just because there's not a specific law that they're in violation of, and neither does the control board. The control board has the right to deny these applications on any ground. That's in the law. So if you feel it's not in the interest of the community, you have the right to vote no.
Okay, thank you. Duly noted. Okay, are there any questions with regards to this motion to table?
What if we table it and then there's like a time limit and we don't get to say anything? Exactly what's going to happen.
Well, that will be the conversation we have. So the district office will reach out to OCM to make sure that we lodge our concerns with any approvals, that there's a delay, if we can get that as well. Okay? Yes.
Are we hearing here or is being taught here that cannabis is being treated differently than liquor? Because of liquor, if you don't show up, they don't get a license anyway. So is cannabis being treated differently?
I can't answer. That's something. Separate office.
We can say that.
So what's the job? Isn't
that was inappropriate behavior on behalf of the state, and it needs to come back in front of the community. That's number one. Number two, if we are forced within a 30-day period, given how we're being inundated with these stores, and we can't see them in 30 days, that's inappropriate for the community as well.
So, and those are all
Well, then
points.
go ahead, yes.
No, those are all points taken.
Okay, thank you.
All points taken, and we'll be able to address those, but at this time, the matter on the table is, I don't think we have enough information, and they're not here to answer the questions.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
Ms. Westall, and then we're gonna have to move. Yes.
Well, I just wanted to say by tabling it, we're following a loophole here. It's a loophole for the 30 days and the 60 days, and that was very clear. I went to the town hall classes, whatever, it was very clear. We have fallen outside of those, and by putting this back on the table, we're not going to be given an opportunity. The same thing is happening with this that is happening with the OCI. It's just going to be approved, and I'm sure they know that. I'm sure they know what's happening with the other application. It's already been approved. And they're going to be approved as well, without the community being able to comment on it. And I think that's bad business. It's bad for the community. That's poor choice for us to make right now. And that's the one we're making. So we're failing our community by putting it back on the table and not discussing it and voting on it now. Failing. We're going to continue to fail, and this loophole will continue to roll. So put it on the table. It'll be approved, and nobody gets to comment on it here or vote. You don't need to say so.
So I think what I'd say is it's clear that we need more information from the Office of Cannabis Management. It's clear that we need to establish a mode of communication with them. We're saying that there's clarity around a 30-day license. We're saying there's clarity around a 60-day notice. There's not. And we haven't had that conversation with OCM. There are things that are written into rules which also, frankly, lack clarity, right? So we need clarity on these items. If we're going to be solutions-oriented, part of a solution might also be for a resolution to come out of the Public Safety Committee to make a statement publicly about our concern as a community board. So I would love for us to work towards solutions as a community board and make decisions that are in the best interest of the community, and I think we can do that. But I think tabling is what's in front of us at the moment because we don't have all the information that we need.
I apologize, but we recognize Ms. Westerdahl as the last one. We're gonna call the question for this, so all those members in favor of the motion to table, please say aye. Aye. All those members opposed to the motion, please say your name for the secretary.
Rod Herbert, no.
Rod Herbert is a no vote, yes, correct? Celeste Chase, please record as a no vote. Any other members who wish to record a no vote? Teresa Westerdahl, recorded as a no. Suki? No. Okay, please record Suki Chung as a no as well. Any other members who wish to? How we going as a no as well?
She couldn't be here tonight. I'm slacking.
Okay, all right, okay. Are there any other members who wish to vote no at this time? Okay, are there any members who wish to abstain? Call for a second time, any members who wish to abstain? Okay, hearing none. Madam Secretary? 5 noes. How many yes? Okay. Hold on. Please call the roll. Please call the roll. We need to verify. I think we've lost a few members. We need to make sure the vote is correct. Please listen up for your name.
Right back, please.
Present.
Yes, Rabbi Yaakov Berman. Alicia West. Celeste Chase. Present. Suki Chang. Present. Bishop Hamilton Gonzalez. Rod Herbert.
Rod Herbert, here.
Yourself?
Arbor? Jackie Pearson?
Present.
Vanessa? Yeah, here. Dexter Robert? Dexter Robert? Elise? Present. Vinny? Debbie? Twyla? Teresa? Here. John? So now my, yes, the list is 77.
Yes, for this, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, just for the record, so 2 members have left, so they'll be marked as absent for that vote. Okay? What? We still have quorum. So it was 27, it was 27 in favor? Okay. Okay, 22 in favor, 5 noes, the motion carries. So it's been tabled to the March meeting. Okay, OET was removed per the motion before. All right, we have 2 last items, so let's do this very quickly. Let's take item E first, removal of board members. Right, so I just want to just do this formally. I will entertain a motion to table to the March meeting. All right, so it's been moved by Beverly Newsom to table item E to the March meeting. Do I have a second? Second by Debbie Timothy. It's been moved and seconded. Sorry about that. Are there any questions? Hearing none. Okay, are there any objections to approving, to tabling this by common consent? Call for a second time. Any objections? Okay, hearing none. Madam Secretary, please record item E is tabled to the March meeting. We're doing that right now. Last item. This should be relatively quickly. So our Youth Services and Education Committee is doing a Black History Month event. This will be at Jackie Robinson School. It's finished. It was today. We did. Okay, yes, I'm sorry.
Hi everyone, my name is Latrine. I'm Vice Chair of the Youth Services Committee. So that event was supposed to be today, but due to scheduling conflicts and just overall youth involvement, we are going to move that to March possibly. So just keep in the lookout for that, and hopefully that will be on the next agenda. So sorry we didn't get back to you in time for that, but we are still planning on that. We have a birthday event coming and a lot of other events. So.
Let's do this, because I think that's part of the problem we ran into. So this event was approved by the executive committee. It was supposed to be done today. It's being rescheduled. So what I would like to do is, it's an event that's being rescheduled. I would like to get the approval of the board pending a new date. Okay, so I will entertain a motion to approve the event pending a new date to be announced. Do I have that motion? I have moved by Rob Herbert. Do I have a second? Second by Beverly Newsom. All right. We're not even going to ask for questions. Anyone, do I have common consent? Is there any objection to common consent? No. Oh, you do object, okay. Okay, so the event is approved pending a new date to be set by the Youth Services Committee. All right, with that being said, we have completed our agenda. Is there any other business that needs to be considered by the board? Hearing none. At this time, thank everyone for your attendance, for your participation, for everything you do. Please remember, all members, this only works when you show up and we do the things we need to do. So make sure you are looking at the schedules and attending your committee meetings and making sure you are attending the board meetings as well. With that, everyone, thank you. Have a great evening. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Okay. We stand adjourned. Madam Secretary, please note the time as.
Okay, cool. Let me say hello to
You asked me that.
this lady over this